Let's Sebring it home. Okay, so yeah, Sebring has always been a tough one for me. I was able to get a 203 776. The track temps are really hot. It's kind of hard for me to get a bead on what other people are going to be doing, because looking at Garage 61, everybody's doing it on like a 60-degree track temp. So like trying to see what's comparable is tough, but I think if I had to guess, like the fast folks are going to be in the mid 201s range. But 203 7, that's like really fast for me. I'm probably more likely going to be in the 204 range for the majority of my laps, but this one was a pretty good one, and we'll go ahead and we'll show it to you. We'll show you how we did it.
Sector 1 is quick. Sector 2 time is quick. That lap time was 203.78.
Okay, Sebring in the Porsche Cup fixed setup. It's a hot week, so we got a 203 776. Let's go. Got a good run out of this corner here. A decent run. So my first kind of braking point is going to be kind of right around where this wall straightens out a little bit, and I'm going to turn it in kind of at the same point here. So as we come up here, we're following this, and we're going to start trying to get our peak brake there, a little bit before there even. We're going to hold our brakes and just kind of trail down. The cone there is the apex of the corner, and we're just going to trail brake in through here, and then we're going to get back on the throttle at some point here, right, kind of around the apex, and just holding the wheel, start feeding a little bit of throttle in, not too much. Too much will be bad. We gotta wait till we can start straightening the wheel out before we can start feeding more throttle in. And we start feeding more throttle in as we straighten the wheel out, and start going. And our next braking point is going to be a little bit before the 4 cones here. Or I'm sorry, 3 cones here. I kind of found that I have to focus more on exits on this track than I normally do. So yeah, we want to slow down so we can get the next corner. We're just gonna hit the brakes throughout the anchor, and we're gonna kind of start turning in around here. We're gonna trail through this corner here. Trail brake. As we put in more wheel. Then we come around. We're gonna start feeding in so much wheel. Start feeding in a little bit of gas. And then as we straighten out, we'll feed in a little bit more. And then this next corner is like my least favorite on the course. I kind of have been trying to think of it as I need to get as much of this little like my brain naturally thinks, okay, I want to go from here to here, right, and just straighten that out, but you can't because it keeps turning. So I've got to force myself to think, all right, I need to get as much of this little scooch out here that I can, and come back over here, brake a little bit, and then we can start thinking about getting on the throttle a little earlier, because it's really important to have a good exit here. And then as we straighten out, we'll get more throttle. It comes back the other direction, so we can't do it the way that I want to do it. All right, so now it's just full throttle for this next section here. I kind of stay on the right hand side. Next braking point, if it was cooler, you could probably go a little bit later, but with as hot as it is, I'm finding like maybe a car length before the 4 cones. That way we can get slowed down and have a decent amount of inertia, or we've still got some speed behind us when we get on the throttle. We haven't come to a standstill. Braking this early, people might try and dive you. So you just got to be on your toes and maybe practice some different lines through here, and that'll also help you maybe kind of pass some folks too. But yeah, but practice, like if you're gonna want to try and take that tight line, you have to practice it. But yeah, so we're braking like quite a bit early before these 4 cones, and I just find that lets me keep I get slowed down enough that I can turn and keep my speed up as I hit this apex here. But yeah, we're just slowing down as much as we can, getting down to second is how I take it. And then we're gonna start to turn in and let off the brakes here. Be trail braking, and I've got it set on super duper slow-mo. Yeah, we're gonna trail in, and then because we slowed down before, we can get on the throttle earlier, which is gonna help us get more speed in the fast section coming up. And we've already got half throttle, and we're putting the rest of the throttle down as we straighten out the car, and then it's full throttle through here, and just full throttle as we go in both of these corners here. All right, and this corner here, I'm using kind of the four cones as my braking point. A little bit before it again earlier. Just the track is so hot. And this is even like it's cooled down a little bit. Like I've seen, like I started sessions where it was like 114 or something like that. I think it was like 108 when we did this lap. But yeah, we're gonna trail down. I've had different amounts of success, second or third through this corner. It's situational on how the speed I'm carrying and everything. I'm not quite sure which one's the best. This lap we did it in second. But yeah, then we're gonna trail brake through the corner, and then again, just make sure that you don't put full throttle down until you get the car settled out. Because if you don't, if you put it on too early, I've sent it into walls here so much. So yeah, we've got the car straightened out, we've got full throttle back, and we're gonna go and accelerate, get back into third, and we're just gonna kind of vary the throttle a little bit on these corners here. As I come out of this one, I kind of there's extra track here that you can use. If you clip the grass though, it's an off track, so don't do that. Yeah, you can use all this area here, and then I kind of on this corner here, try and arc, like just think of it as a big bend. It's kind of how I'm thinking about it. So we're going full throttle, and then we're gonna brake in a straight line here, and we're gonna come to the outside point, and then we're gonna start trailing off again as we get to this apex. Again, second or third, I've had different amounts of luck with both gears, so this time we did it in third. But yeah, we're gonna come all as much over here as we can. You can hit the dirt a little bit. It slows you down, but it's not the end of the world. And yeah, as again, wait till you get the wheel straightened out before you hit full throttle. And here we're just going to go full throttle through this section. We're going to use a little bit of the curbs, a little bit there, little hitch there, a little bit here. We're gonna hit the brakes pretty early here again, trying to focus more on the exit than the entrance. And so yeah, heavy on the brakes, bring it down, and then we're gonna use a bit of this curb over here, and then we're gonna back on the throttle, straighten out the wheel, feed the throttle in as we do so. And then we use a little bit of this curb here, and then brake, and we're gonna so yeah, we're lifting off as we do that, getting ready to slow down, hit our brakes, quickly trail out, and then we're gonna come back over onto this side, and then we're gonna use a bit of this curb too. Just again, be careful not to give more throttle than the wheel. Then like you have to measure how much wheel you have versus how much throttle you have. And we use a bunch of this curb on this side, and it's full throttle. That exit is so important, and I think that's one of my weaker points on this track. And then here we're gonna brake kind of around the 3 cone. It's kind of where I end up braking. And brakes. And we're gonna yoink the wheel in a second here. Turn in. We're gonna kind of go wide on the first part of this big corner here. Trail quite a bit. We want to slow down on the first half of the turn so we can have more time under acceleration in the second half. Is kind of the idea that we're trying to accomplish here. So we're just trail braking, trying to keep some weight on the front tires so we can actually turn the car. I'm bringing it down to, I believe, third gear here, and we're just turning in. Now we're gonna start feeding some throttle in. We've got to be careful because the wheel is so far turned that if we give it a lot of gas, we're gonna, send the back end into the front end. But yeah, as we straighten out the wheel, we just feed the throttle in. And now we're kind of going in a straight line, and we can just feed in a little bit of wheel to keep the car turning as we approach this patch over here. This is where we're gonna have the car, we'll have it straightened out by the time we get over here. And it's basically just full throttle from here on out. And there you go. 203, 776. So yeah, 203 776. Like I said, I'm happy with it. Hopefully, like maybe like throughout the week I'll gain some more time. We'll see. But it's just with the track temps being what they are, I don't see a lot more pace in myself, especially at this track that I have a little bit of trouble with. As always, head on over to twitch.tv/thepiltdownman if you want to watch the races live. Thumbs up if you like the video, thumbs down if you didn't. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see the future videos that we put out, trying to do good times in this Porsche Cup car for now. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.